Hello everybody and welcome to my channel Almost Home Creates. Today I'm going to walk you through the process of how I made my Galaxy coasters, and I really loved this project in the end and how it turned out. Now the first thing I did was just make a very thin layer of black because I basically just want that as my base layer, and I'm going to be building my layers from bottom up with this set of coasters, and I'll just dome them at the end to get them that nice finish on the top. So basically all I do is put the black down and I'm going to spread it around, and then I am actually going to let this sit and cure for about an hour before I do anything else. And at this point, after it's sat for an hour, I'm going to add some glass glitter into the bottoms, just so that you get some shimmer from the bottom, and so that it kind of shows through at the same time, because the layers that I'm going to be doing next are actually going to be clear, so you'll see this stuff on the bottom. Now I'm just mixing up a cobalt blue, and I'm going to use that as my first color to add into everything. I'm basically going to just start drizzling it kind of across. A little horizontal, a little kind of to the side, basically whatever pattern seems right to me, and I'm just going to start drizzling it over, and then I'm going to take my heat gun and actually move it. So this does not have to be perfect because you're basically going to set it up how you want it when you use your heat gun to actually start distributing it. And as you notice, when you use the heat gun, it basically is just going to start heating it up again, and you can slowly move it so that you get the feathery effect almost, and it's not so harsh of lines in there. Just until you're pleased with how it goes. Now, sometimes you can take it a little too far and cover too much of the black, which is what I've done in the past, and hopefully I don't do that this time, but basically that's what you're trying to do, is just get it distributed how you like the effect. Now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to start adding some blue, like foil flecks, kind of outlining and towards the center and just in a nice pattern until I have what I feel I want. And I kind of add a lot because you're going to have other layers on top of this as well. So just to make sure you're kind of seeing it through to the other layers. At this point, when you're done with this, you're going to let the coaster sit overnight until it is fully hardened and ready to go for the next layer. And here is what it looks like so far. And so far I love it. And I did put a little bit of glitter in as it was drying towards the top of some gold just to give it some extra shine, and I forgot to record that part. So first I'm just coming in with a clear resin, and I'm going to pour a light layer. It doesn't have to completely fill everything because you're adding some other colors on top of this, so it will spread out as you go. And the colors I have decided to put on top of this are a rose red color and a violet color. So I'm just going to mix those up, and I mixed a small amount of mica powders and a small amount of alcohol inks together of the same colors just to get it the extra vibrant color that I was really looking for. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with these colors that I did with the blue the first time. And I'm just going to slowly kind of add lines across in almost the same directions that I would have gone with the blue, kind of to the side, some of it over it, overlapping as I want, and just keep adding as I go until I decide that I like how much I have. I've also made some white and will be doing more of highlights with that. I kind of like it more as a highlighter than as a main color, but it kind of brings out like the other colors and almost looks a little starry when you have it distributed correctly. And as I go, I just use my heat gun and I distribute and decide if I am pleased, and I decided I wanted a few more colors after this, so I came back in with some more of my colors, and basically I just keep doing this until I am happy with all the colors that I have added. One of the things that I feel like I run into a lot is I end up covering a lot of my black, so I have to go in and use my heat gun to basically move it back out of that black space. And if you noticed, I just add a little clear resin to the corners because that helps push it back to the middle so that you're seeing the black edges with the glitter through it still. Because otherwise you could end up eventually covering the whole bottom rows if you're not careful. And again, I've totally done that in the past. But I kind of like how this is looking right now. You can see the blue glitter through it. You can see some of the other glitters through the bottom. You still see the black, and I'm just loving how these mixtures on the top are actually going together. And as you can see, this is what it sits and looks like after it's sat for a little while. Now I'm going to add a little bit of my flakes to the top again. I feel like as it dried, it covered a lot of the blue, so I want to add some blue back in, and I want to make sure I have a little bit of pink in there because those were the colors I liked the best. And I feel like I need to add a small amount of black again just to give it a little bit more of the galaxy effect on the sides, because as it set, it really did basically just kind of almost cover all of the black. So I'll come in first with my clears just to help put those flecks in and make sure that they're all sticking, and then I will start to add the colors that I feel like are missing at this point, because it did cover quite a bit of the blue in the end. So I feel like I want to add a little bit of blue this time and a small amount of like a clear type black where you're not seeing just clear, straight black, but you can see it through transparently a little bit too. So I'm just going to come in and drop the black just like I did the other colors when I was doing it the last time, just to kind of bring in that extra dimension and add a little bit of extra color back into the coasters. So after doing this, I'll add my blues, a little bit of black. I ended up adding a little bit of white again because I really like that color and how it pulls out the different looks from it. And I'm going to go ahead and run my heat gun over it one more time, and this should be my final layer until I am ready to dome them and complete them. I'm going to add my silver glass glitter again just to the top so I still have some shiny on top, and since it's in layers it will not sink all the way to the bottom, so it should come through. And I don't want to add tons because there are a lot of different colors, but I just like the extra shimmer that it brings. Alright, here's what they look like after drying for another day, and I really do love them. I kind of wish there was a little bit more pink showing through, but overall I'm very satisfied. So now to dome. The easiest thing I have found and cheapest solution is to take Elmer's glue and basically paint it on the bottom of your coaster. What you're going to have is the bottom. This is going to make it so as your resin drips down the sides, it does not stick to the bottom, and you will be able to peel that layer off quite easily to just have a clean coat on the outside. And I simply use a paintbrush and just get it all painted on, make sure I'm all the way to my edges evenly. If I have to, wipe some off the sides just to make sure that it's an even glaze all the way around. I'm going to do this with both coasters. At this point, I just take clear resin that I have mixed and let sit for a few minutes, and I just pour it on, and I'm going to slowly work it over to the edges because basically you kind of want it to get all the way to the edges to drip down to the edges, and you want to make sure your coverage is full enough that all of that is happening so that the top is just completely smooth and clear. Once you're done, you just let them sit and dry again overnight. And I like to put them on these mini cups. It seems to make it really easy to just work with. And then what drips down onto, I just have wax paper down to catch all the drips so that it's easy cleanup after I'm done. Okay, and at this point, I will show you that you can just easily, use a fingernail, whatever you need to get in. You'll be able to find a place to kind of pull the glue up, and then you slowly can peel the glue up, and it will just pop up those resin dots. And if it doesn't, you can usually use like a little X-Acto knife or some type of knife and pop them up, and they come up pretty easily. Some of them I can just pop off, some of them I can't. Like that one came off easily, some of the others I'm going to use a knife to pop off. But basically you're going to peel this entire coat off, and then after you're done with that, you will put the feet on. I got my feet off Amazon, and they're actually little furniture feet or felt holders for cabinet doors, and they seem to work perfectly for these. I like to use these brown ones for my darker coasters, and I have clear rubber ones when I make clear coasters. But I put 4 on each and just kind of try to space them out evenly, and it just gives it extra protection for your tabletops, etc. when you're using them. It's pretty easy. They just stick on very well, and so far I have not had them just fall off. I've had to peel them off when I want to take them off. So overall, I'm very happy with them. And that's basically your last step. After you have your feet on, your coasters are done, and here's how they look. I really love the blues and the purples, and I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. I like the whites that shine through, and overall, I just love these coasters so much. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, just go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will be making more content soon. Thanks all for watching. I hope you have a great day.